Wait a minute. Brock Lesnar won the Universal title with that stupid cash in, and I'm not completely pissed off? This could be great if they don't do something stupid.
Last step. Can Seth do it?
He does! Rollins is going to SummerSlam! Rollins has a chance at redemption!
Of course they did something stupid. Roll the credits. Damn it, WWE. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Last Word. I'm your host, Alan. We are going to do SummerSlam. Yeah, Extreme Rules 2019. The pay-per-view before one of the big four, which is SummerSlam. And hot damn, this was actually a good pay-per-view. I didn't really hate any of it. Now, let me get the one real complaint out of the way. In no universe, in no realm of the multiverse, in no iteration of the Mandela effect, which, if you don't know what the Mandela effect is, shameless plug, I covered it on my old radio show I had when I was still at the university. It was the one thing I put up on my YouTube channel where I actually had somebody just screaming and raging at me that it's real until they deleted their account or got their account deleted. Feel free to give it a listen. But yeah, in nowhere should it ever be that Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura should be on the fucking kickoff show. WWE, what miserable hell of a failure did you do putting two premier talent who main evented NXT multiple times on the damn pre-show? Holy shit, what is wrong with you? Good match. Congrats, Shinsuke. I'm glad they didn't forget you exist. Oh, wow. That's really my one complaint. So let's talk. I think I'll keep this one short today. Because it's like 90-something degrees out. You can hear the fan in the background. It's hot. It's humid. So I'm going to just be chill and relax with y'all today. Because I'm in a good mood. Overall, good pay-per-view. Again, I'm not actually mad at the Brock Lesnar cashing in. I'm not sold remotely on Seth Rollins. I just think he's poor man's Roman Reigns. I could talk today. I'm not editing this out either. I just, you know what? It is what it is. Let's just have some fun. Seth has the same corny promos. I'm waiting for him to say suckering succotash. He's not bad in the ring. He's talented as a wrestler, so I can't take anything away there. His personality does nothing for me. And the main event, I'll just cover that now. It was terrible, but the Universal title match has been terrible for the last year and a half on nearly every pay-per-view it's been on, so that's nothing new. So let's cover that match first. The main event, and again, way too many tag team matches in this pay-per-view. And they weren't all bad. There was one other bad one, and you probably already know which one I'm talking about. So the main event was Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. So the man and the worst t-shirt design, maybe second worst behind that lazy-ass Firefly Funhouse shirt, where it's just the logo ironed onto a red t-shirt. So you had the man and the man's man taking on Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans in a winner-takes-all. So whichever side won kept or either retained or won the titles. It was a very one-sided match through about 90% of it. Every time Lacey and Baron really tried to gain momentum or offense, it was constantly countered. At no point did it feel like an actual threat, which I think was the problem. Baron Corbin is not a real threat, has never been considered, taken, or accepted by the fans as a real threat to Seth Rollins. At no point were we ever maybe like, hey, are they actually going to put the belt on Baron Corbin? So it really just was stupid. The finish to the match was actually fun. It was a stupid main event, but it was fun. In the end, Baron Corbin, I believe he hit an end of days on Becky Lynch. Seth kind of was out of the ring, got in the ring, kind of saw what happened, snaps and beats the hell out of Baron Corbin with the kendo stick. And after all said and done, he curb stomps Baron Corbin 3 times, pins him, they win. Out comes Brock Lesnar. He German suplexes Baron Corbin Seth Rollins a couple times, and then hits him with the F5. So the same damn thing you see every single match out of Brock Lesnar, the 2 moves he can do. Remember when he spared people? Like, did they tell him not to do that because that became Roman Reigns' thing? Because I remember when Brock Lesnar had more than 2 damn moves in his moveset. So he won, and I wasn't mad. I thought, hey, cool, we're gonna have a reset on everything. We can push new people. Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley had probably the best match of the night with that Falls Count Anywhere match. I went into it not wanting to like it because I got tired of their feud. But damn, it was a good match. I can't take anything away from it. It was a hell of a good match. They beat the living shit out. Pardon my French. I'm not monetized, so it's not like I'm going to be demonetized. But they beat the living hell out of each other. Didn't hold back. It was a fantastic finish. It was a fun match. The crowd got into it. And the crowd was hot for most of the night. I'm going to say one thing about the crowd right now. Can we stop the holy shit chants when they're not deserved? Shane McMahon diving off the ring apron is not a holy shit moment. Just stop it. Like, are we so used to utter crap that that's a holy shit moment? Now, diving off the top rope of the turnbuckle onto the outside through the announcer's table is a holy shit moment. And again, I can't wrestle. I unfortunately was not gifted with an ounce of athletic talent, or I would have went into wrestling. I'm not even joking. I as a kid, until I hit puberty and realized, yep, I'm not athletic, and kind of had to give up on that. Obviously, I look like a Mr. Potato Head. I'm not going to be a wrestler. I would love to be an announcer, a commentator, or a manager. So I would love to work in the industry still, but I'm not a wrestler. So I'm not saying, like, I can do it better. But it's not impressive jumping off the ring apron it's a lazily done move compared to, like, stuff that warrants a holy shit chant. And there was a lot during the Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman match that deserved a holy shit chant. And I think there was a few that broke out during that. But, so I went all over the place here to start the show. So, yeah, I wasn't mad with Brock Lesnar winning, because I thought it would be a reset. And what I was getting at was, I thought maybe they were going to turn around and use the Strowman-Lashley match as a catalyst to push either the two of them, and obviously the winner would make more sense. So Braun into a main event scene with Brock Lesnar to maybe finally push Braun Strowman. But of course not, because as I showed you the clip of, we gotta put Seth Rollins because we have to shove the Shield down your damn throat every second of every day. So we had a chance to reset, just launch a new era with having Heyman and Bischoff kind of taking over creative lead. And no, it's the same old shit, different night. So, yeah, I was fine with almost anyone getting a push. Like, I don't know, maybe Bray Wyatt. And side note, I'm so sorry I haven't gotten that video out yet. I promise I am working on it. It's been hot as hell and humid as hell. It's hard to record during the day. I've mentioned this on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, please do. I don't do a ton of tweets. I'm not going to blow up your feed, except maybe during pay-per-views. I have a job where I'm working third shift right now until I can find something in the comm industry, preferably radio or wrestling commentator. I don't know. Anything that I can actually use my degree and do what I like doing, which is talking and communicating. I'm talking now. I work as a help desk analyst overnight for some hospitals and businesses and all that stuff. So I'm usually up in the evening hours. And because I have neighbors, I don't want to record at 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning and be shouting and having a good old time and waking up my neighbors because I have to live with them. So it's been a little rough getting the Bray Wyatt video done, so I apologize. That is still coming. I know after the last pay-per-view review I said the next day. It's been 2 weeks. I'm sorry. I will probably get down to doing one video a week going forward. at least with the wrestling stuff. I got Pokemon videos for the Let's Play that I need to upload, so I don't typically cross the two shows. I just figured I'd mention that during the review here. So if you're into that stuff, check that out. So I do have the Bray video coming, I promise, but maybe we could have used Brock to push the new Bray Wyatt character, which we finally got to see on Monday, which was the final thing I really needed to make my Bray video, so I'm happy that happened. But no, we're back to the same old shit, different day. So, yeah, it was a wasted opportunity in my humble opinion. So, again, to circle back around, in the pre-show, again, the pre-show, Nakamura and Balor fought. Don't know why the hell this was ever relegated to the pre-show. It was a good match. Nakamura won. Fantastic job. Cruiserweight match. Gulak defeated Nice. I mean, I don't care. 205 Live is just, nah, who cares? You don't push these guys in any other place, so why am I going to care? If you're not going to care to push them and give them relevance WWE, I'm not going to care. And we opened the show with Roman Reigns and The Undertaker versus Shane and Drew McIntyre. This was an okay match. There was a botch. People were hating on Taker because of that god-awful match in Saudi Arabia. It wasn't Taker's fault. It was Shane's fault, so just stop it. I understand Taker's getting to be an old man in the ring. It's really showing now. The matches, to me, growing up as a huge Taker fan as a kid, even as an adult, like if I had the chance to stand in the ring with him, I'd probably, shake. I would be on my knees. God, that sounds terrible. Not what I meant. I would take, out of respect. The dude is just a legend and deserves, kind of like Ric Flair and Sting and many others, just deserves nothing but respect. But much like Ric Flair, Sting, and many others, maybe on indie shows, but I want to remember him for his glory days. Anybody remember Michael Jordan in his last couple years when he played for the Washington Wizards and how bad it was? His final season when he averaged like 12.5 points a game, and it was just cringy, and you really just felt sorry. Yeah, we're kind of hitting that point. Not yet. And I still think with the right person, Taker can put on good matches, and to his credit, he did good. Shane sandbagged him during the match, so that's what made him look just old. But you know what? I'll take what I can while he's still doing it, but WWE, I want to remember who he was. Don't beat him. Don't kill him. Let us remember him when he was great. So it was an okay match. Again, I went on my tangent about the holy shit moment. Stop it, people. There was no holy shit moment during the match. It was great seeing a choke slam and then a tombstone on Shane. Taker got the pin, won the match. And again, pretty good match. It wasn't the best. It was probably one of the weaker matches of the night. Not the weakest. Like I said, the weakest would be the main event. The second weakest match to me was the SmackDown women's title match, and it wasn't bad. It was just meh. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to go a little out of order. Let's talk about the SmackDown women's match. It was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross in a 2-on-1 versus Bayley. Now, because the writing sucks and they don't have the talent or ability to write this well right now, you could have had Cross and Bliss win and carry start doing the co-champs. Have them maybe get in each other's way. One of them nearly lose a couple times and the other gets some DQ to retain. Have a slow build through SummerSlam going into Mania where the blow-off is the two of them have a big fight. And I think it would be a good platform to really push Nikki Cross. But no, we're just going to have Bayley win. And what was the bullshit that told me that Bayley was going to win, aside from the fact that the writing just can't carry the story? Like, they just don't have the talent in the writing department right now to even carry that. And yeah, I'm calling y'all out because I'm sorry, the product has been pretty damn terrible to the point where I've stopped watching Raw and SmackDown for the last 4 or 5 months. Just because it's been god-awful, with the exception of the Firefly Funhouse. Remember when SmackDown was the A show for a couple months, and then it just turned into a pile of shit? Yeah. Funny how that happens. But the announcers, the entire match, were talking about how it was impossible odds. And I can't stand Corey Graves and Byron Saxton together. I never have. I don't think I ever will. They don't have the Lawler JR dynamic. Saxton comes off as just a complete idiot, and it doesn't work because at least with Lawler and JR, they fed off of each other and stood up to each other. This is just stupid listening to the two of them go back and forth. I can't stand it. And again, I think Renee Young was chiming in about, oh, it's impossible, but never say never. I think she was in this match. She did a few, and I know people hate on her. I don't think she's bad. Again, it's what they're given, and what they're given is bad. So, you know, it is what it is. They kept making this story about how there was no way Bayley's going to win. So, of course, Bayley won. Feel-good moment of the night. Man, you had opportunity to really have a compelling story to carry you all the way into Mania, and you just shit on it because you just don't have the talent in the writing department right now. Or at least you don't have the courage to pull the trigger on something like this. So, whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll end up carrying this into SummerSlam, and then maybe at that point they'll do it. Or, I don't know, we could give Asuka the belt. Because, you know, you gave her like a bullshit loss, and that was it. And you have her in a tag team with a stupid name and have done nothing with her. But who knows, because outside of Becky Lynch, you really don't know what you're doing with the women's division right now. But that was the other match to me that was kind of meh. It wasn't bad, it was just meh. And we had the Raw Tag Team Championship, the Usos versus the Revival. Good match. Revival retained their titles, which is nice to see them finally getting a push. I enjoyed it. Again, it wasn't like a be-all, end-all. It wasn't anything close to Match of the Year competitor. It was a good match. Aleister Black and Cesaro. This was probably another contender for best match of the night. Not the most compelling, not the most story-driven. Just from a technical wrestling match, this was a really good match. Black got the win. Really good. It was a good showcase for Aleister Black. It was good to see Cesaro getting some attention, with Sheamus being out with the injury and possibly done for his career. So, kudos. Good match. I highly recommend watching this one. It starts out a little slow, but you will get drawn in by the end of it. It's hard to get into from the fact that there was no story build. You just had the vignettes with Aleister Black about who's going to answer the door or who's going to knock on the door. And it was Cesaro, kind of like, you know, the show before the pay-per-view kind of thing. And so, yeah, it really didn't have the story behind it, but damn, it was a really good technical, entertaining wrestling match. Honestly, what I wanted for this match was I wanted this to be... And again, neither guy could afford to lose a feud right now, but this would have been amazing if Bray Wyatt was the one knocking on the door. And you can't tell me I'm wrong on that. The tricky part is both guys need to win a few feuds, a few pay-per-view matches to really build up their characters as being both charismatic. More on Bray's side, Aleister's not as charismatic. He's just very cerebral. Bray's got a little bit of both. And right now, and as I'll talk about this when I do the Bray Wyatt video, Bray can't afford a loss in any feuds right now with the rebuild they're doing on him. But kudos to Black. I'm glad they didn't bury him like they do most of their NXT talent. I mean, look how damn long it took for the Revival to actually get pushed. And let's see here. Talked about Lashley and Strowman, a hell of a match. Definitely best match of the night. Just watch this match. Go on the network, watch it. If you want to see how to do a last man standing match or how to do a big old hoss kind of match. Lashley's not a hoss, he's too muscular. Braun is definitely a hoss looking dude. This is just a textbook how to do a last man standing match between two big men. Just watch it. This is a freaking fantastic match. That's all I can tell you. And another tag match where it wasn't bad, but it was a wasted opportunity. You had the SmackDown title match. You had Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan versus the New Day and the Heavy Machinery. Heavy Machinery should have won this match. You don't have a good tag team division on either show right now. You have young tag teams that need a push. And granted, this is a great way to push the young tag teams, but you should have put the belt on Heavy Machinery. But good match. In the end, the New Day won, so we got to go with the safe, same old typical crap again. But you know what? The New Day are all involved in a really good story with Kofi. So Kofi having the SmackDown belt, and the New Day, and I'll cover that match in a minute, and the New Day having the tag team titles, really setting up for either that group breaking up or just being a really dominant faction for a few months, because I don't see Kofi losing probably until, if not Mania, right before it, so maybe Royal Rumble or possibly Survivor Series, if they do actual singles matches. I expect them to, but every few years they do the SmackDown vs. Raw feuds and actually treat Survivor Series as what it was supposed to be. But good match. Again, not best match of the night or anything. I really thought they should have put the belts on Heavy Machinery, but it was a fun match. Daniel Bryan is done with the tag team thing, which is good because maybe we'll get him back in the title picture. This one I think maybe was better than the Revival and the Usos, just because there was more going on, but it was just an okay match. It was good. It was just same old stuff. Like, they could have took a really big risk, and you could have had him drop it at SummerSlam or even before SummerSlam. But just given Heavy Machinery, a new tag team in a very anemic, starving for validity tag team division on SmackDown, the belts would have gone much farther than putting the belts back on the New Day right now. And we had the United States Championship match, Ricochet versus AJ Styles. Styles won. The club's back. That's what I'll say about it. This was a good match. I can't complain about the match itself. I just would have preferred to see Ricochet maybe get a push a little bit longer. We'll see what builds out of this feud. But good match. Can't complain. Maybe Styles was a little slower than normal, but that also could be on Ricochet. Styles, to his credit, and I like Styles, I'm glad he's still relevant. He's phenomenal, no pun intended, at matching the pacing of his opponent. He actually made a Randy Orton match good, because I find Randy Orton incredibly boring. But Styles did really well here. To his credit, it wasn't one of his best matches. It wasn't one of Ricochet's best matches. I don't think any of Ricochet's best matches have occurred in the WWE as of yet. If you've seen him on the indie scene like I have, and I'm not like an indie aficionado, he just happened to be at a Northeast Wrestling show I attended, he is fantastic when given the room to work. So good match. I hope this feud continues. I'm happy to see that we have the club. I'm kind of hoping with what happened on Raw with Bray taking out Baron, that Baron, if you don't know, got a time off request granted, which is surprising. Hope he comes back and joins the club and we can have a full-on Bullet Club in the WWE, because they're going to need something like that to kind of counter the energy and the attitude in AEW if they really want to. Not that the AEW is a threat yet, and I may cover AEW intermittently once they're on TV. I can't buy into the pay-per-views right now. Sorry, I'm not paying $50, $60 for pay-per-views. I don't have a Patreon yet, but if y'all want to let me know in the comment section or message me on Twitter at the last word 2016, if y'all want me to do AEW, I'll be happy to. But as of right now, I don't have the excess income coming in to pay for those. So I'm just saying they're not direct threats as of yet. I think WWE needs that competition, so I'm rooting for AEW. Not to beat the WWE, but just to bring that competitive fire under the WWE's ass. But the Bullet Club in the WWE will be an incredible thing if they go all in on it. I mean, no pun intended, because I know that was the AEW show. And Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. This wasn't a match. This was Kevin Owens doing a stunner, pinning Ziggler, trash-talking Shane. I am loving every second of what they're doing with Shane and Kevin. It's the modern reimagining of Stone Cold and Vince. And no, this is never going to have the same energy, attitude, or just overall, what's the word I want there? Appeal, maybe, of Vince and Austin. That dynamic, that energy, that mystique can't be recreated, but making an effort to do it and really trying to have a modern day interpretation of it. Hell yeah, I'm on board. Keep going with this WWE. I'm loving what you're doing with Owens. having him being the anti-authority everyman is fantastic. Keep going. Keep carrying this. I want to see more. Just thank you. I think the only other match I need to talk about here, and this honestly sucked, which is odd because usually, usually the SmackDown title, the WWE title matches tend to be better in the pay-per-views, but it was Kofi and Samoa Joe. This was the most lackluster match going. I honestly, I tuned out while watching it. It just didn't do anything. It wasn't compelling. There was a lot of good story behind it. It just wasn't good for either guy, and both guys are capable of much better. So, Joe was dominant a bit. Kofi was able to counter. Kofi hit a Trouble in Paradise out of nowhere and won. I think right now they're afraid to take the belt off Kofi. Like, I get it, the 50-50 booking, the constant, like, loses, wins, retains to close out a feud. I know, like, we get tired of that as fans. It's okay for the belt to go back and forth a little during an extended rivalry. And I got the vibe out of this that this isn't going to be an extended rivalry. And I don't know why, because he can carry either belt incredibly well. He's got charisma. He's very much great on the mic. And he very much is a cerebral character. Samoa Joe can carry either title and be the main guy in either show. But for whatever reason, the WWE refuses to put the belt on him. And don't get me wrong, I like Kofi having the belt. He could have lost it and then won it back at SummerSlam. I mean, unless we're going to carry this in and have Samoa Joe get a dominant win at SummerSlam and then they have, like, the trade-off match at whatever the hell pay-per-view they're going to do after SummerSlam, and then move into a new feud starting at Survivor Series, or have this feud carry into Survivor Series and then leading into Royal Rumble. Or you could have this feud carry into Royal Rumble and then have the next feud be have a SmackDown guy win the Royal Rumble. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like this match could have been much better. It just it was a dud. It wasn't bad. It was just kind of a dud. It was very forgettable. But Kofi won. Kofi retained. So, yeah, we have the New Day with the tag team and the WWE title, which I'm curious to see what they do with this, if they start building tension or trying to divide or split up the New Day, which I wouldn't do. You split up the Shield, which was the right thing to do. Now, if you could stop trying to shove a Shield member down our throats... I don't want Brock to be the guy that puts the belt back on Roman, because people like Roman right now. You're going to burn that bridge if you start doing the Roman bandwagon thing. You haven't given me any sign you're going to do that yet, but you basically just substituted Seth in for Roman instead of having an organic, like, fan invested character like Braun, Bray, Finn, Samoa Joe, Shinsuke, guys the fans are behind. And Shinsuke, I kind of understand. You haven't really figured out how to translate his wrestling style into your main roster. Hopefully you do something good with him having the IC title. But yeah, that was the pay-per-view. This was a good pay-per-view. None of the matches were terrible. Even when I bashed the Kofi and Samoa Joe match it was forgettable. It still wasn't terrible. It was just forgettable on a night of overall good wrestling. Kevin Owens and Dolph really wasn't a match, but I can't say pipe bomb. That's another one. Can we stop calling everything a pipe bomb? CM Punk was a pipe bomb. The next pipe bomb we've had in the WWE since was John Cena calling out Roman Reigns for being god-awful on the microphone and not being the guy. That was your next pipe bomb. Kevin Owens just was saying what every fan and probably every writer and every wrestler in the back room was thinking. But it's not a pipe bomb because it's clearly part of the storyline. So let's just stop. And even the John Cena one is still part of that storyline. But I call it a pipe bomb because he said things he wasn't supposed to, because it got edited out of the YouTube upload that aired right after Raw that night. So that was a pipe bomb. But again, good pay-per-view. I'm not complaining. I thoroughly enjoyed this. While the payoff on Monday night kind of sucked that we're just getting a rematch between Brock and Seth instead of using this as a proper reset. But overall, really good show. This is a step in the right direction. This was definitely the best WWE pay-per-view of 2019, which honestly is not a high bar. But I'm very happy that after the Saudi Arabia show, which was complete garbage, and again, I'm not saying that because it was in Saudi Arabia. I said my piece on that in my last video. It was just a glorified house show, and it sucked. And then the pay-per-view after that, Stomping Ground, was okay. This was a fantastic pay-per-view. Not something that's going to be like, better than a lot of the Attitude Era, like when the Attitude Era was good. Pre-Mark Henry sleeping with Mae Young, pre-Big Daddy V, the good part of the Attitude Era, or even the good part of the Ruthless Aggression Era. But this was definitely one of the better pay-per-views in a long time. So this is a step in the right direction. I have a lot of just hope, and I see a lot of potential going forward, especially with Bischoff and Heyman in leadership roles. I have high hopes for the WWE right now. We'll see what happens going into SummerSlam. SmackDown, I'm recording this on early Tuesday afternoon, so we'll see what happens on SmackDown tonight. I don't know yet. We'll see. But thank you for tuning in, and as always, I am the social pariah turned messiah. I am the misfit that doesn't know when to quit. I am the man without a plan, and in case you haven't heard, I always, and I mean always, have the last word. Peace out. Yeah, I'm not doing a Pro Jared joke today. Right now, his channel's less relevant than mine, so, I know when to let a joke die. Okay, I promise, it's the last time I'm gonna make a Pro Jared joke. I really like this song, okay? It's by a band called Famine Tech, and it's Hello Winter, Goodbye Summer. Go look it up on SoundCloud or whatever. It's a really freaking cool song. I can't help it. Alright, take it easy, everybody. I'm sorry. And stay tuned for my Bray Wyatt retrospective. I say soon, don't give me a date. I'm bad at picking dates. Let's just go with tomorrow until it's uploaded. Alright? Peace out.